Yumi at 6, lived a lie. Thank you for that request, Nikita. It's now time to talk about...
Dan versus Phil.
So as we are celebrating the time that Dan swiftly fell out of the uterus, we're going to be playing a traditional party game in Dan versus Phil.
I hate you. What are we doing, Phil?
Well, do you remember Grandmother's Footsteps?
I do happen to remember Grandmother's Footsteps, but for anybody that may not, would you like to remind everybody of what this is and how it works?
I think we've kind of combined it with What Time Is It, Mr. Wolf?
Okay.
But basically,
Quite similar.
We have a grandma, and we have to sneak up on her, but if she turns around and sees us moving, then we've got to go back to the start again. And whoever gets to stroke the grandma, I guess?
I have this question. Where did this game come from?
I don't know.
You know, all games must have originated. Who decided on, like, let's all sneak up behind grandma, and then
do what?
When we get to her, something happens. I mean, in the game you just win, but maybe there's a horrifying tale there.
My grandma would always have a polo that had been in her pocket.
Was that the prize?
She wouldn't go anywhere without some
My
polos.
grandma, okay.
I know she's from the north, she'd call it a toffee. Here, have a toffee, love.
It's not made of toffee.
No, it's crazy north. Anyway, we couldn't get a real grandma, so we've got Queen Elizabeth.
Okay, so everybody listening, you have a celebrity face mask of the Queen wearing a headscarf.
I'm going to wear it now.
That is a profoundly disturbing image, Phil. Where did you get that?
I got it off the internet.
Of course you did. Okay, so we're going to stick that picture of the Queen on someone's face and then sneak up to them and touch them. And that is the Dan versus Phil challenge this week that will be happening live on camera after a bit of James Arthur. With a very passionate and high-budget lip sync from Zayn, not Zayn Malik, Zayn Ashby. Here is James Arthur with Impossible.
BBC Radio 1.
That was James Arthur, Impossible. And now as we prepare Queen Elizabeth, we've got for another Liz on Facebook, Sweet Disposition, Temper Trap. The Temper Trap for Liz on Facebook. Now, we haven't used the most flattering mask of the Queen. I have to apologise to Her Majesty if she's listening or watching the show. Hopefully she's watching the show. But it is now time to play Grandmother's Footsteps watch on the Radio 1 website, as this should be interesting.
And film your gran reacting to it. She should have a unique perspective on what's about to happen. But here for your ears is Gorgon City, here for you.
BBC Radio 1.
1. Dan versus Phil.
Radio 1.
So, how was that? The Queen's footsteps, Phil.
That was terrifying. I think it was the darkness and the fact that you just didn't know when she was going to turn around.
They can make the live lounge so atmospheric, and I didn't think that if you combine that with a picture of the Queen, it could be so nightmarish, but that just happened.
Also, Alid was secretly watching, and he was like, I can't believe your brain stops working as soon as you stop moving.
Did he say? Sass from Alid. Well, okay, let's not reminisce too much, as we will be formally revealing the winner of Dan versus Phil next. But as I bite my fingers off with anticipation, thanks to Zoe and Megan, we have got some McFly for you. Here is Stargirl.
Thank you very much to Zoe and Megan, but now it is time to reveal the winner of Dan versus Phil. Before we do, I think we need some kind of forfeit. So you know those gigantic balloons behind us?
Yes.
Well, they're bigger than the average balloon.
They're gigantic balloons, aren't they? I'm impressed. It's for my birthday.
So the loser has to pop one with their bare hands.
Dude, that's too far.
I've announced it now. It's got to happen. So let's find out. Ali.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Dan, can you stop heavy breathing?
Sorry,
It's distracting
the
us.
balloon is fine.
How are you doing, Ali?
This is serious.
Oh, it's-
I'm doing good.
It's so serious. Okay, let's get serious. Are you ready to announce the winner?
Yes, I am. Can I have a drum roll, please?
Yes, you can.
And the winner of Dan versus Phil is Dan.
No! I was so sure I'd won.
Oh, the
done,
balloon
Dan.
thing. Oh, were you like, I think I won. So I was just a forfeit. It was the balloon popping, but no, you didn't win. You lost.
Oh, so I'm going to pop the balloon. I'll do that after Ali has made a request. What song would you like to hear, Ali?
Can I please have Floors by Bastille, and can I dedicate it to some people?
Yeah, go for it. Go crazy.
Can I dedicate it? Okay. Can I dedicate it to Libby, Violet, Shara, Harriet, Chloe, Bessie, Anne, and Jane?
Wow.
Yeah, this goes out to all of your friends. I think you're one of my favourite announcers, Ali. I'll miss you when you're gone.
Thank you. I'll miss you a lot, Phil. and Dan, and Dan, and
Thanks.
Dan.
Yeah, I'm appreciative.
I'll be popping the balloon after this.
So, Phil, about that balloon.
I thought we'd forgotten about that.
No, you've committed to that now. Phil suggested that whoever lost the challenge would have to do a forfeit that is popping a balloon
I'm
with his
scared
bare
of the
hands
balloon.
because he thought that he'd won, and he hasn't. Okay.
It's bigger than every human head in the world, I'd say.
I'm just going to stand off screen.
Okay, if you're currently driving a car or a plane...
There is about to be a pop, but that doesn't mean that one of your organs has exploded or something like that.
The producer Simon's scared. I'm holding it, Simon.
God, that's so big.
Okay. Right, I'm going to do it. That popped a lot quicker than I thought it was going to do.
That was
having palpitations.
That was a huge balloon. I saw the balloon shrapnel fly everywhere. Usually you don't see that. There was so much mass in that balloon.
There was. Okay, I'd like to see that in slow motion. Kind of enjoyed it. I like a little bit of an adrenaline rush. Anyway, Dan, as it is kind of not really your birthday, 3 days ago.
It was. Yeah.
A lot of your listeners and our listeners have clubbed together to make you a little birthday music video.
Oh, really? Have they?
And I haven't told you about this. It's a surprise. So if you sent in a happy birthday for Dan, make sure you're watching on the website, as here is Muse with Undisclosed Desires.
Good song choice.
Muse, Undisclosed Desires for Dan's birthday. Happy birthday, Dan.
Thank you so much to everybody that made that video. And again, amazing choice of song. They know me very well.
This is BBC Radio 1.
So one of the presents that I got that wasn't a scented candle, which is just the perfect symbol for how exciting my life is. Actually, we got circus tickets, didn't we?
Yeah.
So us and a bunch of people went to the circus, which was cool.
It was so good. Because
Other than the start.
the start was scary, because I hate audience participation.
I
And
think we and everybody else in the entire universe is afraid of audience participation.
we
Phil.
were sat right at the front of the circus.
Which
and-
is supposedly a good seat.
Yeah. But the first thing the ringmaster said was, prepare for a lot of audience participation. And I was like, no.
No, it didn't help that all the people on the stage had 18 packs, obviously, because they're
Yeah.
acrobats. I was like, don't make me do anything.
Yeah, so for the first half hour, I was kind of just shaking and thinking, I want to leave, I want to leave, I want to leave. But then a lady swallowed an entire lightsaber. Don't try that at home.
Please do not attempt to swallow any lightsabers at home.
But they turned the lights off, and you could actually see the lightsaber going down inside her throat.
yeah, it was unique. Well, and that was the moment you got over the fear of the
Yeah,
audience
I was just
participation.
like, whoa, whoa. So that was good. All in all, I enjoyed the circus.
Although once, it's obviously genetic, because my dad has the same thing with audience participation.
I thought you were going to say about lightsaber swallowing.
Plot twist. No, we went to go see the Blue Man Group once, and they do a lot of audience participation, and my dad actually left because he was so afraid of it.
Of going on stage.
Yeah, because they got 4 or 5 people, maybe even more, up on stage doing stuff, and my dad was like, I cannot cope with the thought of them doing something to me that I am going to just sit in the car for 2 hours.
Oh,
And
no.
Really, yeah.
It is genetic.
So you joke about it, Phil. All you need is a lady swallowing a lightsaber to get over it. But for some people, it's a real problem.
Yes.
But anyway, moving on. I wonder what the grandmas that are out there reacting to the show think of the Pretty Reckless. Big fans, I'd say,
Probably.
out there. Well, as part of Radio 1 Rocks, which is happening all this month, they did a live lounge for Fern, and they did a cover of Champagne Supernova by Oasis, which, this is obviously going with the dad's theme
Yeah.
for Father's Day, I would say. So if you are a fan of the Pretty Reckless, get to the radio website to watch this now, because we enjoyed it enough to play it. Here is the Pretty Reckless with Champagne Supernova. That was the Pretty Reckless in the live lounge with a cover of Champagne Supernova, which even had a bit of the Beatles in it there for any of the dads listening. But we're not going to stop, Phil, with the Father's Day aspect of it. We're gonna go
Okay.
full Britpop. You should never go full Britpop, but we're doing it now. As Matty has texted in saying that she forgot to get her dad a card, so instead she wants us to play his favourite song. So we are going to do that for you right now. It is Common People, Pulp on Radio 1.
So much better than a card. Fun people, pulp for Matty's dad, and probably a lot of dads out there. Happy Father's Day, Nigel.
This is BBC Radio 1.
Nigel was my dad.
You just shouted out Nigel. Nigel is such a strong name, isn't it?
It's a strong name.
Just reminds me of Nigel Thornbury, to be honest. Winner.
I could have been a Nigel if it had felt like having a Nigel II.
Nigel Jr.
Nigel Jr.
And Dan show on Radio 1.
It's got a ring to it.
It kind of doesn't, I don't know.
Speaking of people that aren't called Nigel, is Alid!
Flawless segue.
It is a segue because I am named after my dad.
Oh, are you?
So my dad's name is Hayden, so I'm Alid Hayden Jones.
Oh, nice.
So yes, I'm Hayden II.
Alid, I want to get a bit serious now.
Okay.
I had a dream last night, and it's been playing on my mind a lot.
It has. He was really in a problem with it this
Really
morning.
weird, right? I dreamt that a little girl with bright green hair came up to me and said, there's going to be an earthquake between the 18th and the 21st of June, and you're going to die. And then I woke up. Then I woke up instantly.
Wow. Why did she? Wow.
I don't know. I don't know what that means.
Intense.
Should I be worried, or is that like a metaphor for
Well, I
my
think we
life?
should all be worried because the date hasn't come around yet.
No.
So if it does happen, I'm going to think of you straight away.
I mean, if that happens in England, the world's probably ending in some way, so we can solve our problems.
But what I do know, well, first of all, how nice is it that someone's trying to help you?
Yeah.
So that's a nice
She
positive
warned
sign.
you. That's a
warned
good
me.
thing.
So you've
Okay.
got your friends out there who'll stop you doing bad things, which is
Yep.
a good sign.
You mean creepy green-haired friends?
I think they're lovely.
Yep.
And secondly, I remember Dr. Ada saying on the surgery that death doesn't mean death in dreams. It's actually sometimes a positive. So
Okay.
I don't know what it is, but I know it doesn't mean death. So
So
you're fine.
If I'm here next week, everything was fine.
And you may win the lottery.
I might
is
win the
basically
lottery.
what we've gotten to.
Okay, good.
Remember
Thanks,
who
Alid.
made you feel better if you do win the lottery?
Yeah, hopefully.
Friends forever.
So, Alid, what is happening in the surgery today?
On tonight's surgery, it is an open surgery, so if there's anything on your mind, feel free to give us a call, 03700 100 100, 81199 the text. It can be as big or as small as you like. So it could be that I've fallen out with my friend,
Yep.
and I'm nervous about seeing them tomorrow, and I need some advice on how to talk to them, or it could be something huge, like Father's Day has upset some people. So if that's you, you can give us a call, and we're there to help. But we're also going to talk about diabetes tonight.
Oh,
Do you know anything about diabetes?
I was saying this earlier, I really don't. Like, I know people either need lots of sugar or they shouldn't have sugar, but that's like as much as I know. So I think I'm going to listen.
Listen.
Yeah.
I found out that 2 people at Radio 1 are diabetics, and I didn't know that.
Oh.
So we're going to talk about that tonight on the show.
Cool. Look forward to that. Thank you, Alid.
Thank
Don't
you.
call in for us anymore. It's all about this guy.
See you later.
I was pointing, Alid.
That's Alid with the surgery at 9 o'clock. But now, just when you thought that you'd had enough ridiculously attractive foreign people, or that we managed to kill, happy video of the week, one has survived.
What?
This song is like a cockroach. It's indestructible. You can nuke it. You can just, it's like plastic. It can't be destroyed.
Or maybe it's like a zombie and it's back from the dead.
Absolutely. So thank you very much to Yan Yan and the people of Ballybunion for this one. Here is Pharrell with Happy. Pharrell, Happy. Thank you very much to Yan Yan and Ballybunion for that video.
Do you know where Ballybunion is?
Yes.
I think it's in Ireland. Yes, it's in Ireland. Looked a bit like Broadchurch, didn't it?
I got that vibe. It looks
Yeah.
totally like the crime-solving beach town thing. Thinking of it, what is season 2 of that show going to be about?
have
Because
no
it was just
idea.
very specific, the first one. It was one crime. I hope the town doesn't just turn into Midsummer or something.
Maybe they'll all be the killer. or the actual town is an alien
Right?
that sucks people underground.
That would really be the plot twist that we're all waiting for. I
would.
hope that happens, Phil. Anyway, it is now time for the show that any nans reacting to it have probably contributed to themselves. You guys sent us in your stories of friends and family struggling to keep up with today's technology, and they are read out by the erotic tones of Radio 1's Matt Edmondson. This is Sorry, I Don't Know How to Internet.
Internet, isn't that a misplaced tennis serve in Yorkshire?
I don't get all this facial book.
The World Wide What?
Sorry, I don't know how to internet.
Our first tale of technical woe comes from Lily.
My great nan was using her laptop outside on her balcony.
Okay.
We asked her why, and she said that she thought the laptop was solar powered and it only worked in the light. This actually happened.
I mean, clearly she's been betrayed by calculators. That's the only explanation.
Yeah, technically calculators are more far forward than laptops, aren't they?
Everything with wires and plugs these days, calculators, I don't think any of us even knew why they were immortal. I'm pretty sure if I just found the one under my bed from 15 years ago, it'd still be working.
I'd buy a solar-powered laptop.
Would
Just
you?
to like have a hat that's solar powered and plug into it USB.
You'd walk around wearing a solar-powered hat charging laptop, would you?
I know that Deborah Meaden's listening, so call me.
Okay, our next one comes from Abigail.
I heard my dad listening to music on the computer, and when I walked past, he deliberately stopped playing it. A few hours later, I checked the search history, and he was listening to, of all people, Rick Astley.
Oh no. Okay, I'm sorry. This is, in case you aren't familiar,
Don't
that
do
of
it.
course means.
Dan.
It was happening to us mentally, so we had to do it to them.
You just rickrolled the entire nation, Abigail.
How long had that been for you?
At least a year.
Exactly. Way to break my combo, Abigail.
Ruined everyone's lives. Our next one comes from Paris.
I needed to check something out on YouTube, so I used my mum's tablet.
Right.
I went to type in the search, and the previously searched things came up. It was dog dancing on bed.
Standard.
Okay.
What do dogs get up to when nobody's watching?
Fair enough.
Dad pulls boy's tooth out with toy helicopter. Singing Italian nun.
What?
Pics of cats. Justin Bieber, Victoria's Secret fashion show 2012.
Wait, what?
What? One of these things is not like the other.
Okay. Which, see, that's a bit weird. Because a lot of that seemed like general browsing. You know what I mean? It's like pics of cats. That's just what you do when you're just looking for nothing in particular. But Justin Bieber, Victoria's Secret Fashion Show 2012, that's an agenda. She was looking for something in particular, wasn't she?
I would be suspicious, Paris. Something's going down. I don't know what yet.
Let's not look that up. The next one comes from Hannah.
My mum thinks that every YouTuber is called Phil. If I'm watching Kick the PJ sing, she says, wow, Phil can sing well. If I'm watching Crab Sticks, she thinks it's Phil. If I watch a Phil is Not on Fire, she thinks both Dan and Phil are named Phil. I've explained to her who the real Phil is about 100 times, but she doesn't listen.
That's a horrifying nightmare world I've got then, where it's just 1,000 Phil faces.
I really enjoyed that. You know the name Phil is only 215th most popular on the baby name list.
Is that relatively high or low?
That's low, I think.
Is it low?
I think there could be more Phils out there.
What, who's like carrying the flag for inspiring people to name their baby Phil at the moment?
I don't know. Any pregnant ladies listening, name your child Philip. Do it. Do it. They might be asleep listening and just go into their subconscious now. Those are Philips.
I think you should stop. What's the last one, Phil?
Our final one comes from Phoebe.
My mum thought my laptop was broken because of the dots that came up when you type in your password. She spent a good few minutes getting frustrated because she wanted to see what she was typing. It took her 7 attempts to get her password right and log in.
Wow.
Passwords are getting pretty ridiculous, though, nowadays. It's like, we need one letter, one uppercase letter, one dog's face, and a little bit of magic
Why do
before
you
we'll let
think
you
that?
in. I don't know. There must be super hackers out there. I couldn't get into iCloud earlier, and I was trying to do it, and the question to try and make me remember my password was, where were you on the 1st of January, 2000? And I was like,
That's
what?
so specific.
I tried, like, home, nope. Party, nope.
That's insidious.
At home, crying in my bed. Ding! Let me in. And that was Sorry I Don't Know How to Internet.
Wow. If you have any stories of friends or family struggling to keep up with technology and you want to send them into our show, all you have to do is email it to danandphil@bbc.co.uk. And if you have any picture or video evidence of the person you know struggling with the technology, that would be really great for us.
Now, Sophie's asking an important question in her next video. Should she go outside or embrace nature or browse Tumblr all day?
The question of our time.
I was on the side of Tumblr till I noticed her giant trampoline. I want a trampoline. Here is Paramore with Still Into You. Thanks, Sophie. Bounce. Paramore, Still Into You. Thank you very much, Sophie. Now, I'm so excited. We'd have a tweet from Georgia the Bug who said, Dan and Phil, I'm 31 weeks pregnant with a boy and I'm going to call him Philip. Thanks for the sound advice.
Phil, what have you done?
I'm going to be a dad. Kind of.
No, that...
With names. A name dad.
Okay, let's...
Dan and Phil, they escaped from the internet and climbed into your ears.
Now, though, we have got Charlie Brown by Coldplay with a video sent in by Kalina, who just wanted to show off her awesome art skills. It is worth saying that if you want to send in a music video and get your favourite song on the radio, all you have to do is email a music video that you may have already made or one that you feel like getting creative and making to danandphil@bbc.co.uk, and then we could be playing it on next week's show. Here is Coldplay.
Behind us.
It's a white box in my birthday zone. Is that relevant?
Dan, do you want to go open the white box?
Okay.
I'll narrate. He's walking towards the white box. Put your fingers in the little holes.
Okay.
Okay, he's put his fingers in the holes. And lift!
It's a Mario Kart cake with a sign with my name on it.
It is a Mario Kart cake. It's amazing.
Got little mushrooms and bananas. This is the best day of my entire life.
Bring it over.
No, I'm not going to move.
Okay.
People can see it during the song.
Okay.
I am not going to attempt to pick up the incredibly beautiful cake.
That was lovingly made by a lady called Helen England. And it's probably the best cake I've ever seen.
That's probably the best cake I've ever seen in my entire life. And I'm going to stick my face in it.
I think... Yeah, we're going to eat some cake. So if you want to watch us eat cake for a while,
okay,
you can listen to this song that has been requested by so many people on Facebook. It was the most requested on Facebook for Dan's birthday. Blink-182, What's My Age Again?
Oh, I see. Because nobody likes you when you're 23. Love you too, guys.
Welcome to the future with Dan and Phil on BBC Radio 1.
You know when I said at the start of the show that I was having a bit of a cake binge problem and that most of my arteries were sugar? This will definitely not help. You may not see me next Sunday, but I just want to say thank you to all the people that made the cake, that requested the song, and all the happy birthday wishes. But now, shall we thank the people that made the show?
I'm just eating a banana made out of confectionery. Yes.
Can you do that while saying
I can do that.
Here we go. Thank you to Eric,
Jodie,
and Kate,
and Alice,
and Jack and Dee,
and Cara,
and Aza,
and Jane,
and Zane,
and Zoe,
and Megan,
Taz,
and Yan,
Sophie,
and Kahina,
Lily,
and Abigail,
Harris,
and Hannah,
Phoebe,
and Indy,
Mina,
and Ellie,
Nikita,
and Rachel,
Helen
and
England,
Nash,
Ali,
and Matt,
the Queen,
and all of the dads out there. Happy Father's Day to you. Allied with the surgery coming up next, but now requested by Nash on Facebook. Here is AWOL Nation with Sale.